they are sincere interests on the affairs of the city. Do I have anybody that approve the minutes, the regular session, mayor and council minutes?
So moved.
Second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. All opposed? None. Approve the call work session, the minutes of it. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Anybody wants to add or leave anything in there? And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Lanier County Family Connection Report, Amy Lawrence, is she here? Okay. Police Department Chief Darrell Watson.
Mayor, council, activity for August. During this month, there were 26 incident reports filed. Most of these have been cleared. We had 3 individuals arrested. 3 traffic accidents reported. The department issued 36 traffic citations for the month of August. No drug cases made. We patrolled 7,604 miles in the month of August. On the second page, you can see the tickets written by per officer. We had 482 calls of service during the month, and we served 13 calls.
Anybody got any questions for the chief? Chief, I don't hear any complaints, so no complaints, you're doing a good job. Thank you, Harry. Fine reports and report by Mayor Pro Tem Tony Giddens.
Fines, for the total fines for the city is $1,071.65. The city's portion is $989.65.
Thank you, sir. Sanitation report, Grace or Shirley, you have anything? Everything running along pretty good. DJ keeping the trash truck running. Water, anything on the water report? Okay. It sure is nice we don't get 50 to 100 complaints a month about black water. Now, on occasion, some sulfur in the lines, the chlorine will die and you'll get some smell. That's going to be here forever because we have water that's coming from sulfide down in the dirt. Nothing we never do about that. But we have done away with our black and brown water thing. I don't see Gary. Y'all know anything about Gary tonight? I thought maybe he might come in a little later. While I'm talking about Gary Yeomans, on my Facebook, I got a message. If you would write down to call Gary Yeomans and ask him would he replace some boards in the Betty Chadwick walk. And I saw that on Facebook. I called Chief Watson, and he went out and put some tape on both ends of it for people not to walk on that until they get repaired. And he said he's going to keep a lookout and make sure that the yellow tape is up until they are repaired. Sometimes we have youngins that go through there and just bust the boards out of it. We've had that happen more than once. That we may have
All the time.
all the time. See, Gary Young's, he built it originally, and every time we needed it repaired, he's gone and repaired it. Yeah, him personally. Yeah, he's gone and he's always gone to replace it for us. That hadn't you, Diane?
Yeah, okay.
We just replaced the railing
Yeah, we had some
years
young,
ago,
had a youngin here a few years ago, destroyed, did all the railings. And luckily, somebody had a video camera that would have video destroying it. We have a lot of trouble with vandalism on the Simpson Nature Trail, and they're on that walk. I don't know, it looks like people would appreciate having things like that, but we continuously,
The city of Lakeland has completed its qualifying for the upcoming election that we held November the 5th. And also the city of Lakeland has completed the personnel policy procedure. And also the city clerk, Diane Westbury, had attended the University of Georgia and completed a course towards Master of Education in Management Development certification.
yeah, thank you. I'd say Diane went up to University of Georgia, attended class, and she said you would be surprised at the cities in Georgia, a lot of them around us, are having to borrow money, bond money for operation. I'm talking about to pay the employees. But the city of Lakeland is in fine financial shape. If we didn't collect taxes for a year, we could run. That's what kind of shape we're in. And the city, when we took over this administration, was worth $608,000. Today it's worth $24.5 million in assets. With 6 years of having the taxes cut back to 12.5 and 16.25 when it was when I got here. That's good. I'm anxious to see the report on just what we are worth at the end of 12. That was the end of 11. So I'm looking forward to see that, how much we've increased the city. Where most cities have been failing and going under, the city of Lakeland has been doing one thing, going forward and going up. And that's because the citizens working together, council members working together, city employees working, everybody working together. You can have a fine city. But we always don't have somebody to criticize us. That's just life. Don't always have somebody to try to find fault. But that's just life. You know, without them critics, we wouldn't know we were doing anything right. So I like the critics. The more you criticize, the more I like. Beer, animal control intergovernmental agreement between the city and Lanier County. I think that we have moved forward a lot in the last few years in working with the county on several projects. And this is one we're working on. And the lawyers like a little bit ironing out a few things. And Councilman Donald Patton, I would like to appoint you to work with our lawyers in finalizing this agreement. And the main thing we want to do is make sure it doesn't cost the city any money. And I know you will handle that. So if you would do that for us, we appreciate it. Yeah.
Diane, this is what you've got. My concern is right now, they drew this up right here with our liability insurance for the city going out into the county picking up dogs. Until we get a final contract, we're kind of liable. So the commissioner the other morning voted this little word in that the county attorney said that would allow us, as far as insurance wise, it's not agreeing on any figures or anything, it's just agreeing that we agree to consolidate services. And this would help us in the liability insurance in case the animal control officer goes out there and gets hurt or whatever, and the city will be protected. Right now, we're kind of wide open to any liability. So that's what I want to try to make, trying to follow their word here and make a motion, if possible, to kind of adopt their word. And we're not agreeing on any contract. We're not agreeing. We're just doing this word that the attorneys say that will help us in our liability insurance until we get a contract.
Yeah, I have a motion on the floor to adopt the wording.
Second.
Second.
And mainly it's to approve consolidation of the animal control services with the county is basically how we believe what we're not agreeing on anything, we're just agreeing that we're going to get together and do it, that way we can, hopefully our insurance will be covered.
Any more discussion on that? And Donald's gonna get with them and handle it.
And I'll give Mr. Patton the paperwork I got,
Okay.
so that he can be up to date.
Okay,
Thank you.
good. Okay. All in favor of that motion? Aye. Any opposed? Any motion carried. Fire Chief Gary Yeomans, would you give us a report, please?
Apologize for being late, but I was working on fire. Got my time. Okay, for the month of August, we had 23 calls. 9 of the 23 were EMS calls. The city had 9 of the 23, and 5 of the 9 paid. Now, the city's paying $760 for the month. No repairs that we had inside the Lakeland station. Everything's up there and good. Nothing's going on. No kind of events or anything coming up. The laptop that we talked about earlier, we had it set up running during the frolic. It was real nice to have. We were able to track a storm over the Waycross, make sure it didn't come our way. They had some real bad weather over there while we was having that thing. So kind of enjoyed having that around. Appreciate everybody's cooperation on that. Any questions?
Hey, one other thing, if you would, Betty Chadwick walk down there, if you would repair that for us, please. There's some boards knocked out in, can you handle that?
I'll look into it. I really don't do that kind of work anymore. I can look into it. All right.
Let's see if he's,
Spindle line over here?
no, just the board at the bottom.
Oh, the board at the bottom. Yeah, I'll go by and look at it.
All right, see if you can fix that for us here, let Diane know.
Okay.
You'll fix it, okay?
All right.
Thank you, sir. Okay, beer and wine license application, Dennis D. Miller, application for a license to sell beer and wine not be consumed on premises, purchased and carried away. Place of business is M&M Express, located at 99 7th Street, Lakeland, Georgia.
Have we already addressed a different name? Okay. Get out of here.
Do I have a motion to be accepted?
See about
But, Mr. Mayor, I thought he's supposed to be opening up a convenience store for 9 days.
Yeah, I thought we had resolved that, but
You take us over.
anyway, there's nobody here to talk about it.
So you was thinking, going open up, let it run the store in 90 days, see how it was?
He came in and changed his name and asked to resubmit an alcohol license.
I think what we suggested to open up the store and see how it ran without it, and if he ran without it in 90 days, we would.
For 90 days.
Okay, so we'll just pass on that, let him come back before us.
She has
I know you want to open up the store there, but what time frame are you going to talk about? What is the time frame of this store?
There he is, right behind you.
Let's see, I'm not sure that he would even agree to do that. That was just a suggestion that we had, because we were not going to approve the beer and wine license at the time.
All right. What kind of time frame are you gonna run the store?
From like 8 in the morning to, I was gonna shut down like 12 o'clock at night, but just pretty much till everybody leave, but it ain't gonna be, like I was saying, first of all, how y'all doing? Like I was saying, it ain't gonna be no hanging out or nothing like that, so.
All right. You can't sell beer after what time?
11:30? What time is it, 11:30 p.m.?
Well, that's fine, whatever time I got to shut off,
11:30 or 11:45?
whatever time I got to shut off selling alcohol, that's what time
But
I'll
I
shut off.
think we were up here last month, and we had a suggestion for you to open up the store without the beer and wine license to see how you could run it without it, and then come back to us maybe by 90 days.
Yeah.
So you've come back to us now with a different name.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
M&M Express. And the reason I had to open the store because I had to get tobacco license and all that, all those things is in the process.
store for 90 days and see how that works. And then after 90 days, then you're supposed to come back and apply for your beer and wine license.
Yes, ma'am, but
Why you-
I was just saying, I just had to get all my tobacco license and everything, that's why I'm not open now.
No, I'm talking about the convenience store.
Yeah, you can open, but I don't think I speak for myself, I'm not ready to grant you a beer and wine license. I think what Ms. Roberts is saying is, I think that's a good opportunity for you to show us, because I looked at those, that's too many incidents down there. And I know that you said you was behind the counter, it wasn't in your name, and you're not totally responsible, but that's a good start, what Ms. Roberts is suggesting. But that's just, we're also gonna vote on it in a second.
Okay.
Judge, you understand what they want you to do?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Open and run 90 days, and let's see if there are no complaints from neighbors, no mess going on down there, then the council will consider granting you a food license. And I think since you are in a neighborhood, you know, people trying to sleep, so you got to look out for that. And, you know, somebody gonna be coming down at 11 o'clock on a motorcycle, you can't control that, but people want to sleep, you know, raising sands, squalling tires. You can't control out here.
Right.
But if that's gonna take place down there, all your neighbors are against it. If you run it where it's quiet, I don't think any neighbors say anything.
It's not gonna be any hanging out at all. It's gonna get it going. That's all it's gonna be. It ain't, none of the stuff that happened before is going on. No hanging out, no thing. It's just get it going. You get your stuff and you leave. That's it. I ain't even gonna put no chairs outside for nobody to sit down.
That's a good idea. That's a good
It
idea.
ain't gonna be none of that. It's just gonna be get it going. But, y'all also aware that it's people that don't want me to have it, period. They gonna say whatever against me because they don't want me to have it, period. So it ain't so much of a complaint. I mean, it's just people it's always gonna be people against you, regardless. So I'm just one man trying to fight a community for something that, you know, that I'm standing for, something that I need to do. This is gonna be my own, you know, this is my only income. And I need this, you know. Nobody's taking food out of their mouth or affecting their job or telling them they can't do nothing or whatever. But I'm gonna fight it to the end because I feel like this community needs this store. I do. And that keep a lot of older people from coming uptown or whatever. When they got a walk, they can come right there to the store. They help out a lot of people. So I'm all for the people, even though a lot of people against me. So it's just whatever. I'm gonna keep fighting. I'm gonna keep coming to these meetings as much as I have to until it happens. So,
Dennis, question, John. Do I understand it's gonna be like as a 7-Eleven carrying the beer and wine to go on it? As a 7-Eleven store, you're gonna have snacks and food?
yes, sir.
as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Not just beer and wine?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. It's gonna be everything, you know. Chips, candy, everything. It's gonna be everything. And a few grocery items. Sugar, salt, whatever. It's gonna be.
That's why we say try that, open up a convenience store for 90 days and see how that works. Then if that works, then it's I'm quite sure the citizens, because the people are spoken, and we have to listen to the people, okay? Because they put us here. And we have to listen to what the people say. But like we said, try it 90 days. I'm quite sure it could work out.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So let's try it.
I don't have no problem with that. But like I say, some people, you ain't gonna never be able to satisfy.
Like the man said, you can't worry about what the people. Some people gonna complain regardless, but the people in that neighborhood, you know, you gotta listen to those people.
And you maybe you won't make it without a beer and wine. You don't think you can make it without a beer and wine license?
I mean,
I know that's a good percentage of
Yes,
people,
sir.
I understand that.
it is. It's a good
But-
percentage. I mean, any store you go to got beer.
But you got to also understand, if we had other places that already had a license, the police chief come up and handed all those reports, that's of all those incidents, we would have to act on them. So I think what we're trying to say, you need to prove yourself
Right,
that you're not going to do that. And one way is to run this place without a beer and wine license. And people may love the store, they may need a place to go shop, but everybody just don't want beer and wine to be at that store right now, just with all these incidents. I mean, there were some serious incidents that happened at that store. I would be concerned if I was in it.
Right, exactly right.
And so that's what we're trying to say.
And then there's also now your uncle ran that store a long time without a license, beer and wine. He had a convenience store.
Oh, no, ma'am, he had beer.
Well, it was a time he didn't have beer and liquor license.
You have
Can you speak
fuel,
on that? Can you speak on that, sister? No.
Dennis, you have fuel there, you have gas and all.
No, sir, no, sir. So that's why I'm saying beer will be, one of my top products. Because I don't have beer, I don't have gas and lottery and stuff right now. So beer will be a big thing. But like I said, I don't see any store that don't have beer. And if I don't have it at that store, you're going to have somebody with it at their house bootlegging. That's just how it's going to be.
Well, then that's why we have a police department go there and arrest them.
Right, so.
But you have a license, you legally have it, and they're out there drinking, hooping and hollering, and people trying to sleep, and there's fights around there and all them incidents, people don't have that at their house. In all states, you can't have a liquor one at your house. We have to regulate these stores. That's just the way it is. To me, it's just too many police cars. But you can overcome that if you want, if you really want to succeed and try to do it. And there's probably is a need for that store, I'm sure.
It's a great need for that store.
And there's just not a need right now for beer and wine in my opinion. I'm sorry.
What the council doing, they not telling you no to everything. They gonna give you a chance. What more can you ask for? Give me a chance to prove myself. And so do it for 3 months when you open up. And when you open up 3 months, you'll be right here on this agenda. Come back. And the chief right here will get up and tell what's been going on. Isn't that fair, that?
Yes, that's fair.
Okay, all right. Good. That's where we'll go. Now, you can have your business license, no problem.
All right.
Okay. Yes, sir, thank you. Go back up to number 6, adopt personnel policies and procedures for the city of Lakeland. Jordan, you got that?
I do. I think, y'all had the attorney out involved in it to prepare that,
Yes.
and I don't find any problem with it. I'm sure it would be an improvement over our old personnel policies that we have, so as far as I can tell, I would recommend it has been adopted.
Y'all had copies of these sent to you and all. Any questions on them? I have a motion they be approved.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. 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 Any likewise? Okay. Diane, we probably need to have a meeting with a lot of our personnel and go over these policies. I'll probably be the teacher on that. We'll set up a meeting on the morning. I used to do that a lot, Mayo, and I need to do it a little bit more. We'll meet in here and go over all these new policies and procedures of our employees and let them sign a piece of paper that they are familiar with rules and regulations. That's just bringing us up to date on laws and things that's happened and what you can do, you can't do, and so forth. Every now and then, you have to do that every now and then as things change. Number 9, Attorney George sent an ordinance by the mayor and city council for the city of Lakeland relating to coin-operated amusement devices, promotions, and lotteries. This is the first reading. Some of you might know this, gambling machines. The state of Georgia has come out with a new law stating rules and regulations on gambling machines. You can legally have them in a business. They must be out in the open where everybody can see them. You can only win $5 at a time. They must be in merchandise or lottery tickets. You must sell lottery tickets to have the gambling machines. You must have $30,000 worth of inventory in the store where you set it. It's about 40 pages long. I was just hitting a few of the highlights. And I'd like both of our local newspapers, if they would, look into that state law. And what we're proposing to do is just pass the state law. This is what the Georgia Municipal Association lawyer advised us to do, is that we just pass the law. By the city passing the law, it gives our local police a chance to go in and see if they're going by the law. So if somebody, they hit $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on the lottery, on those machines, they hit $5 and they leave. George, you want to comment on that any?
Well, this ordinance that we have, it's in your packet. What I would rather do instead of having the first reading is to take this ordinance home with you and read. Basically, it says you can't win any cash money at this. It's not a gambling deal where you can win any cash. And also it says, and you need to kind of keep this in mind when you read this ordinance, the city can limit how many of these machines you can have in each location. And that's something that you should keep in mind too, about how big the place is and how many people would be comprised. They're playing machines. There's a limit on 9, but we can require less if necessary. So instead of having the first reading on it, I would like for you to take this ordinance home and look it over, and we'll have the first reading the next meeting. And then after the first reading, we can't have the second and final reading until a month after that, after it's run into the newspaper. But keep in mind that when you pass an ordinance, every time a law is passed in the United States, you're taking away a right of somebody, somewhere, somehow. So you can get, overburdened with laws so that you can't enforce everything that you have. Sometimes I think it's better to start erasing some laws instead of keeping them on the books. When you talk about cattle crossings and things like that, there's no cattle around anymore to speak of. So,
well, this will take the place of the law that we have now.
that's correct.
It'll be replaced.
And actually, a lawyer for one of these minute markets called me week before last, I think it was. And he said he represented some of these minute markets around here in town. And he was going to send me some information on it. I said, well, instead of just emailing it to me, email it and mail it physically, because neither one of those things are always reliable. But I didn't hear from him in a few days, so I called him. And I didn't get an answer, except an answering machine. I didn't talk to him. So I left it on his answering machine, saying that I didn't get it, to send it to me again, if he had already sent it. Well, I hadn't heard from him since. So I don't know how much he's pushing or whatever, and that's neither here nor there. We need to do something on it. But let's just take it home and read it. We'll have the first reading.
And the most important part, I think, is that these machines are be out in the open, no more back room for people to go in and separate from the general public. Right.
That's my understanding.
I think that's the biggest part, because I think a lot of
But it's several pages, so take it. And this is what GMA proposed, can always be altered.
We don't alter that where nobody gonna sue us.
Can't permit that.
Go by what the state says. They've done all the research on it. Okay, we go to the next one. Number 10, Attorney Wynn, an ordinance to amend the public indecency ordinance
anti-sagging, to me, we do that with profiling. And to be honest with you, we know who mostly wear pants like that. I think it should say indecent. See, because for an example, a lot of time I go into the store and, you see ladies with, I hate to say it out loud, but I'm gonna say it, you see ladies with pants so short, you can see the pubic hair. That's indecent. And also you have ladies that wear bikinis, you also have ladies where you can see through their shirt where they don't have a bra on. So when we say sagging and limited to that, to me that's a problem. That's profiling against a certain people. But if you just say indecent, that means they're not dressed properly. That means anybody. We just not just geared toward one person, one set of people. Really, also the Supreme Court turned the same thing.
And I believe John, I believe in what you've done is good intentions. I believe in what you're saying. But they're telling me that, but apparently it must be something particular to this right here that counts. And they also stated that Albany was one of the biggest cities in our region that enacted this sagging pants, or whatever you want to call it. And they have posted a freeze on their writing of any citations or enforcing the law because the ACLU has contacted them and threatened some problems with it. So they have completely stopped. So, and they're going back and looking at the 14th Amendment. So I think that's going to be my position. Is maybe go back and maybe make sure we cover the 14th Amendment. But from what I'm hearing right now, I don't think it's going to get past us to get, I think maybe we need to just take it off and just look at and make sure that we're at the 14th Amendment and covered.
I agree that you can't legislate decency and indecent, understanding. But my position is, I want people to know that I am for this, baggy pants ordinance, and decency in Lakeland, Georgia. And you get some of these mamas and dads, think every day for my mom and dad, and how we were raised. I think it's something that probably could start in the home, not in the council room. However, I am in favor of taking a stand that we do need some attention to this, and whatever it takes to get by the laws, we have to do it. If the 14th Amendment says we can't, but we will make an effort. And that's my position.
Well, I think we need to just leave it alone.
I think we better all leave it alone too.
I think we need to.
All right, I got a motion, we leave it alone.
Yeah.
Got a first, I got a second, that we leave it alone. Okay, any more discussion? All in favor of the ordinance, say aye.
In favor of the ordinance?
Yeah. Aye, got 2 in favor, all against the ordinance as it is written right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Ordinance fails, and I think that what really needs to be done is the 14th. If the city of Albany is shut down, I'm not going to do it. We don't need to sit up here and vote for it, but that's my stance. Now, I am against indecence, yes. The city is against it. I think, Donald, that we have proven that we have an interest in it, but we sure don't want to be sued. So this can come back up at a later date when the research has been done on the 14th Amendment. We can watch it. John, you keep a watch on that in Albany.
I promise you.
And bring it back up, okay? Okay, if you look at the accounts payable, anybody got any questions about accounts payable? Did I have a motion that we pay the bills?
So moved.
Second? Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Likewise. Okay. Anybody notice anything come to see us and they'd like to visit? I see 2 students here. Do I not? Y'all coming to observe out of whose class? Who? Brian Sermon. We're glad to have y'all here tonight. We'll be sure glad to tell you were here. Appreciate y'all coming and learning about the government and how government works. And I tell every one of the class members, you may be up in one day. You know, 40 years from now, you'll still be a young man. You won't be an old man. Anything else? Anybody got anything? Yeah, with Frank.
On backing up the issue just a minute. All those streets you named a while ago.
Yes.
What about in the near future looking at 10th Street?
Yes, sir, that's on the list.
Okay.
Already on the
I
list.
didn't hear a while ago that you've been bringing up, because it's getting kind of rough. And there's a lot of traffic on that road, in fact, that's the tail end. And I don't care what you do to it, you will end up doing it again.
Where's that now?
10th Street. 10th Street itself. By the detention center.
Yeah. Well,
That back street. There's a lot of traffic.
I haven't been elected back, but I hope I sit up here one day and know that we do all the dirt streets over there. That's my goal.
Let's do it one at a time, one street at a time, Mel, like you've done so far. I'm not making any suggestions about it. I just want y'all to put it on the list also, because it's getting rough. That's the back street, and it also is a tractor strip. The law can't be there all the time.
That's right.
But we need a smooth street, and it's getting rough. I would like for y'all to put it on your list.
You ask the man behind you, Jerry Sanders,
Uh-huh.
Peachtree, and then the next one is 10th Street.
I just wanted to bring it up to that.
Yeah.
Just in case it had never been come up, because, like I said, there's a lot of traffic on that road, the back street.
You see me ride it every day,
Yes,
just about.
I see you
I don't miss many. Yeah, that's on the list. And I had somebody on Facebook ask me about 11th and 12th, and I told them, you know, a lot of 11th and 12th is in the county.
Right.
And now we've got a new administrator over there, and he used to work Department of Transportation. I'd like to see the city and county some way get together and see if we could pave them dirt streets over there.
Because it's a full right-of-way have been open.
Sir?
It's a whole full right-of-way have been open, because I think north and south is 40 foot, east and west is 60 foot, already open. Only thing you just gotta do is draw it in a little bit and put whatever curve in the stuff, you know, in the near future. It was already the full length. North and south is a 40 foot, east and west is 60 foot.
Good, good.
Wait, Frank, what's that building down there that's, looks like a brand new building that's sitting there all by itself, is it a car lot or something?
Bobby Barbecue?
No,
He talking about,
Wallace.
he talking about Wallace.
On the dirt,
Wallace.
11th Street.
I couldn't tell you nothing about that.
11th Street. Y'all notice that?
That's,
Yeah, it say
the
pre-owned,
Wallace.
pre-owned car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Wallace.
That's
That's
the
Yeah.
Wallace one,
Wallace,
I can tell you
Wallace.
about that.
Is that in the county?
Yes,
Yeah.
That's in the county.
it's the county.
That's in the
It's
county.
just odd, it's a brand new building and just sitting out there.
Yeah, I think he was, thinking about opening up a used car lot, I think at one time. I think not.
Okay, it's a nice building.
The city boundary goes through his granddaddy's house there, Jack, and he lives right out of it. When he makes that arc, that circle.
They're right through that house.
Mayor, I'd like to bring up something, if I may. It's not city business, but it's also city business also. Billy Hufstadter's been with the city for years and years and years, and is a good, faithful, loyal employee. What is his status as far as his medical problems right now? I don't know. I don't know if the audience, I think they might be interested.
They're trying to, get his leg, he's got a hole in his leg that was eaten there by infection. And they're trying to get that skin graft on it. And, if he can get that skin grafted and done, he'll be back on the job. The way I see it, how about you, Mayo?
Yeah, I went to see him yesterday and Friday. He home now, he gotta go back in 2 weeks to get his skin graft. He say that he should not be in there about 2 or 3 days, he'll be back on, he ready to come back to work. That's all he talk about is work.
Well, let him know the city's thinking about it.
I will, I
Well,
already do.
I talked to him and Mayo, I told Mayo months ago, call him every day if you got to. And he's been directing Mayo in a lot of things and what to do and how to do that.
Yes.
He's up to date with what's going on in the city, now I tell you that. Because,
I've been several times to Tallahassee to see him.
I've been to Tallahassee City. And, that's all he gonna talk about is the city.
That's it.
You have to prod something out of everybody to help, you know. But George, he's been through a lot,
That's right.
and everything's looking uphill. Like I said, he's home now for the first time in many, many months. And, going back to that skin graft, if he can get that skin graft, you'll see him back out here on the streets. And that's his goal. He was asking me about the SUR grant that we have received. Chad is supposed to set up a date, any day, to have bid opening. Did he give you a date they gonna do that?
I haven't talked to him. Then opens on the,
On the SUR. That's where we're at. We're waiting on the engineer to set up a date for bids on it. Oak Street, the sidewalks on Oak Street, we're just waiting on the funds. What do you call that, what that state had that,
Request.
pre-Chris?
Request.
Sequest Station, okay. Of course, our commissioner now of transportation is right over there across the street. And he said that's what's holding up that project. It's federal money. A lot of that money is state money, federal money, and a little bit of splosh. But what we did, instead of doing splosh, we're gonna use our state allotment on paving the streets, which isn't very much, but we're gonna use that on that sidewalk deal. So I'm hoping those sidewalk deals gonna be at zero cost to the city of Lakeland. That's gonna go. But everything has been approved. It's gone through the historical part, it's gone through the EPD part, it's gone through,
Jail.
The jail.
Like somebody be in jail. Like they arrest somebody.
Gene, would you like to go help them? Please. It's gone through all the hurdles. And, so now it's down to them releasing the money. This grant was approved in 2012. And so we had to go through now, like the store down there, we had to get the front door off of it, had to move chain link fences. We had to get all the right of way. We've been working on this thing steady since 2012, helping Mayo.
Yes.
Getting everything moved out of the way, water meters, everything out of the way so we can have these sidewalks down the street. But they're coming. It's a done deal. It's coming. That's all I can tell you. And I'll ask Dave Shaw again to check on the status of that. But between that and Oak Street, it's going to be over $1 million to us in grants coming. And I hope we got some more. I got some more cooking on the table. But I got to get elected back first, so we'll see. Anything else?
Yeah, I got one
Yeah.
more question, Mayor. Is some of that going through the park too for its sidewalk?
Sir?
Is some of your sidewalk going through the park?
All right, now, that's a safe school grant. That's a different grant.
The reason I was asking that, you know we got a bad water problem in the park. You know, when it come off Oak Street, and it comes on through the park, right on by the ball field, going over there to Mill Street. The water on Mill Street, if the pond's up, you can bring Banks Lake to Oak Street. That's the reason I was asking about that. You need to get in it, by the shoot that elevation, the pipes on 135 and 221 are higher. And we got a water problem there, you need to check into that if we're gonna go all the way through there with sidewalk, we won't be just taxpayer money wasted.
I think the plan is to go through there on one side, and over here on Franklin Street, right here by Hardy's,
Right.
they're gonna go both sides. And those sidewalks are gonna join with the ones we just put in, and join with the ones we fixed to put in. I mean, that's gonna really make Lakeland So that's something to look forward to. That's gonna really dress up all this area down here. And I noticed this afternoon when school was out, it was so good to see kids walking down the sidewalk safely and not out in the streets. And I look forward to the day that I see the kids walk down Oak Street on sidewalks and not in the streets, and the elderly. And something else too, when the sidewalks put in, all that'll be handicap accessible. The number one place that we like in Lakeland is West Main Street. And we're gonna have a whole community. Got one or two places on Oak we got to do. We're gonna have a whole community handicapped accessible. And you know, just a few years ago, there was not a handicap ramp in Lakeland, Georgia. But now we're gonna have handicap accessible. We got the golf cart ordinance where the elderly people that can't drive a car can use a golf cart to come shop at the different stores. You see that a lot. And they're riding the little scooters. This is going to keep them out of the road. They're going to be able to go up and down Oak Street, out of the street with the little scooters, come across over here, go to Harvey's or wherever they want to shop, and go all uptown. All handicap accessible. And I think that has been a great goal of this administration, getting Lakeland handicap accessible. Well, Frank, I don't know what engineer that grant is running through the school on those sidewalks there. And Tony, will you find out who the engineer is and tell them about the water problem down there?
Yeah, the DOT's doing all that, they brought their own, so it's a DOT project, and the DOT engineers, maybe I wouldn't address it.
Well, make sure you find out if they gonna lower
They've already.
135 and 221. Because if they don't lower it, if the water ever get high in Banks Lake, it's gonna come to Oak Street. I know they got the dam out there to lower the water to control. But Mother Nature said that, whether you know it or not.
That's true.
Because that's right, and it's right behind that school years ago. If you pay close attention to it, right by the old sermon, there was water going through there like a mad dog. And Corps engineer overlooked something in there. Because all that water was all around the fire station and everywhere else. Just a little bit before the sinkhole, I believe. Wasn't that before the sinkhole here?
Yeah, I think it was. I remember that. I remember.
Well, I can remember. I haven't struck, but I can remember. Because I had to work it out. I know it to a T. And I will give you a copy of the print that Bob Joyce shot on that section going through there by 135